VA hospitals now can turn away Democrats and unmarried veterans? Well, we have a story, all right? I'll put it in full mass. It's interesting. The White House is denying a report that doctors at the Department of Veterans Affairs can refuse treatment based on a patient's political ideology or marital status. The Guardian is reporting that VA hospitals are already making changes and implementing new guidelines under an executive order President Donald Trump signed in January. Now, what is this executive order? Under the new rules, medical staffers can decline to offer care to veterans based on individual traits not protected under federal law, such as political affiliation, whether they're married or single, or even if they're a member of a labor union. And according to the Guardian's report, the VA can conversely screen healthcare employees for potential new hires for these same characteristics, meaning the discrimination can go beyond just people that need the VA. It stems from Trump's, quote, defending women from gender ideology, extremism, and restoring biological truth in the federal government executive order, recognizing only two sexes, male and female. So while, the politics of it all would disagree with contextualization of social dynamics in such a binary way, what does the other stuff have to do with that? All right, here we go. So the press secretary for the VA, former Fox News digital politics editor, did not deny the policy change. He told The Guardian, quote, that the new rules allowed doctors to refuse to treat veteran patients based on their beliefs, or that physicians could be dismissed based on their marital status or political affiliation, but said, quote, all eligible veterans will always be welcome at VA and will always receive the benefits and services they've earned under the law, end quote. He called the rule changes a formality, but said they were made in accordance with Trump's executive order to ensure, quote, VA policy comports with federal law, end quote. It's unclear which federal laws he's referring to, however. And just for the record, the president doesn't get to write a federal law. White House Deputy Press Secretary vigorously denied the Guardian report, accusing the news outlet of fear-mongering. And she called out the reporter who was Aaron Glantz by name. The VA also denied the report, calling it disinformation. The story is disinformation. All eligible veterans will always be welcome at VA and will always receive the benefits and services they've earned under the law, the agency posted on X. This is just, I'm not a former military guy, never served. I would have assumed that you don't have to qualify a VA. I don't understand the terminology qualified VA, if a qualified veteran for the VA. If you are a veteran, I assumed you will qualify to receive VA services, and I could simply be misinformed. But critics are pointing to the VA's use of the term eligible, okay? And these are, well, Trump executive order dynamics at play. Because under Trump's executive order, the VA has removed, quote, national origin. They've removed, quote, politics and, quote, marital status from discrimination under its bylaws, leading some to wonder whether vets that fall into these categories are no longer qualified or eligible. Veterans. The hell is going on? All right, dear brother, thoughts.
Well, if we had someone else in office, you might say, oh, maybe there's a misunderstanding here. But we know the history. He's very petty, and he has, threatened to withhold money from Democratic states for many different things because because they didn't vote for him. And so here we are, and we know that he doesn't really have respect for the military. He said, I like when with John McCain, he said, I like people who don't get captured. When he was at the I think it was in France for Normandy or something, he said to one of the generals, these guys are losers. The people whose graves were there. So he's had no real respect for the military, and as we see, he likes to make everything partisan. He's divided this country more and more and more, and his administration is doing the same. There's no reason to deny any kind of medical care to any veteran whatsoever. They go to the other parts of the world and they sacrifice their lives, and they come back here, and then we're finding ways to cut them short. And once again, some of these other benefits that they're planning on implementing or taking away are benefits that would benefit veterans. I sincerely don't feel that this administration has actual respect for veterans.
Yeah, and the veterans should feel that way as well. It's unfortunate, but it is reality. Trump has managed to basically alienate every voter demographic that supported his route to the presidency, from veterans to individuals who are hardworking people that happen to work for the federal government, and also your economic or your business class community. They have all been violated, but at some point, you got to say something.